Hail to the Mary, baby! The first Oscar-worthy experience of 2026. It's very similar to past space movies that go all around our solar system, only this time, this movie focuses on a plot that has an astronaut trying to save Earth from a dying sun, whilst having no clue or memories as to how we even got there to begin with. Most movies like this are known to have amazing visual style, and while this movie definitely has it with great sound mixing, it also manages to have heart and depth thanks to Ryan Gosling and his funny, yet so adorable sidekick, Rocky the Alien. For even just one well-known star on screen holding this movie's entire plot in his spaceship, it manages to swat itself away from typical thrillers and give us a story that we can easily stick to from start to finish. So how does this space adventure manage to sparkle just as great as its past competitors? How does it stay faithful to its source material? And what achievements made it become the first real hit of 2026? In today's movie review, I'll be talking about the 2026 space rescue mission adventure, Project Hail Mary. Let's talk about how it takes its talented lead to a career high and how it also manages to be just as great as other past space movies. Starting with the highlights that make this movie a blast. The lead performances are simply one in a million. Here we have Ryan Gosling. Just Ryan Gosling. That's it. None other cast performance really matters other than this Oscar-worthy actor that may earn him a possible nomination for Best Actor at the 99th Academy Awards. This movie takes everything that made him a great actor and blends charm paired with vulnerability needed for a character who wakes up with amnesia on a suicide mission. He's not just an everyday hero similar to other astronauts in space movies. He's able to carry the movie solo, proving that movies can hold up very well with their storytelling even with just one human character. And his little alien companion, Rocky, is an instant scene stealer, turning a once known cold story into an emotional roller coaster ride, and the effects done on him are absolutely flawless without CGI effects. The human-alien friendship is the film's emotional core, making it one heck of a trip into space. It's a rare example of one human character carrying the movie with his trusty sidekick. This movie has potentially the greatest combo of screenplay and directional efforts that led to much creativity to its absolute limits. From directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, directors of the Lego Movie and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, comes this similarly spectacular movie that looks and plays a lot like them, with the gorgeous cinematography and spectacle of Spider-Verse, and the charisma and absolutely goofy fun well-grounded tone of the Lego Movie. The screenplay here is written by Drew Goddard, who also previously earned an Oscar nomination for adapting Andy Weir's The Martian. Similar to that book to movie, this one was absolutely adapted onto the big screen, with a science-heavy monologue that adds up to engaging cinema. It keeps the emotional flashbacks and the dual structure of past and present very much intact, with heavy scripting that helps give it some great themes that help it find the place that keeps it away from being a slogfest with its runtime and decent pacing. I very much appreciated it even more after watching it on screen. Many of us, including myself, were worried that the CGI effects that this movie used would be very fake looking with outdated looking green screen captures. But to a massive surprise, the CGI effects are extremely fantastic. The best part of this use hands down is Rocky and how they made him. He has no human eyes or facial expressions, yet still feels very human due to his limited dialogue and expressive movement, which makes him very charming. They used puppetry, led by James Ortiz, giving the character a very grounded look, yet very nostalgic as well, due to a similar use being seen in the 80s or 90s. The human-alien friendship that gives away the voice creates the emotional core in this movie. Oh, and also the practical set pieces are charming to look at, as the film manages to use a very tactical world that doesn't need to feel very expansive, with the spaceship being very junk-like for a good thing, being a lived-in, functional machine that really shows the whole plot of how Grace ended up in space with no memories at all. Definitely a budget well spent. The cinematography is nothing short of amazing. You can see the expansive space shots with IMAX formatted screens, with the scene shot in space being an instant highlight. Shot by Greg Frozza, the film manages to be very breathtaking, contrasting the claustrophobic, high-tech interior of the Hail Mary with the vast, terrifying beauty of deep space. In fact, that's what it manages to accomplish. Capturing the dangers of being in deep space, but also getting to see the amount of spectacle that it has to offer. It also helps itself stay loyal to its source material by making itself feel like you're watching it on screen with its sheer amount of nature and outer space logic, doing something that plenty of other source material based space movies did way before it and turning that genre into another level. Again, the budget helps out a lot here, showcasing that the developers actually took their time making this look as finished as possible, unlike other recent sci-fi movies that look unfinished. It's a rare movie that uses plenty of depth for the most part, but ensures that its expensive budget isn't wasted. Lastly, also making the visual splendor look amazing, the tonal shifting successfully manages to blend amazingly with a very hopeful vibe that makes it more than just a space rescue mission. It stands out with this tone with scientific methods and international cooperation as you see with the main character and the amount of story that is seen in the film. It turns the whole concept of smart people solving impossible space missions into a thrilling, high-stakes blockbuster. It also ensures to turn itself away from becoming a cheesy flick and instead stays as adult-like as possible with themes of hope, teamwork and encouragement. It does so with two sides of the same coin, those being a rescue mission and saving the world with your own personal experiences. It's a very well written original experience as it turns itself around from the big IP franchise series fatigue and manages to be very original from its books, being a very entertaining movie that is very reminiscent of recent ones. An original movie can be amazing even if it's not a big well-known IP or franchise. Project Hail Mary is absolutely fantastic and very much could be the movie of the year for me by the end of its cycle. Alongside Ryan Gosling being an absolute peak actor in a very award-winning performance, it has charming bromance, Rocky is a scene stealer, it stays faithful to its source material, it has gorgeous IMAX-like cinematography, advanced CGI effects with a hint of classic-like technology thrown into the mix, great practical set pieces, a touching musical score, and overall, it's an extremely well written original experience. I didn't expect much before going into this one, as I've seen pretty much all of the marketing from trailers, teaser posters, and clips. I still think The Martian looks great even today, but then I watched this and I was like, damn! This one holds up very well as well. My friends are currently watching some crap at the theatres instead of excellent movies like this. It reminds me of Sinners, where any original movie can be amazing despite some Hollywood slop. Project Hail Mary is 2026 cinema peak at its greatest, and to only think that we are just getting started with this jam-packed year. A spectacular expedition that's given major gravitational pull from Ryan Gosling and his romantic sidekick Rocky, Project Hail Mary travels to the edge of space with hearts, laughs, and plenty of smarts to share. My final score for the Space Odyssey is a 10 out of 10 and a grade S. Much like others of the genre that came before it, this movie is spectacular, full of story, and has plenty of character development along its journey. To think that I haven't had this much fun with a movie in years. A few are coming out now and then, but I definitely prefer original experiences like this, as it helps cleanse my mind from the current state of cinema. Cinema isn't dead, yet, and if they keep creating fantastic movies like this, then the big screen cinema will be in good shape as time goes on. But with that being said, leave a like on this video if you guys did enjoy my review on Project Hail Mary, and also remember to subscribe if you are new and hit that bell icon to see more content on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Take care of yourselves.